Yes, we attended last practical chapter remaining in your syllabus, value added statement. After that, we'll be left out with only theory. Theory of mutual fund is to be done. That we'll do at the end, like we did in the last semester, mid semester before that also. Then theory of value added statement will remain, and first unit is entirely theory. So in your exams, 15 marks question of first unit will be entirely theory. Unit 2, we have done interim financial reporting and segment reporting. Then unit 3, we have done employees benefit and EPS, earning per share. And in unit 4, you have mutual fund and value added statement. This is the last practical chapter remaining. Now, what is value added statement? Understand it? Value added means wealth created by the business enterprise. Okay, value added means the wealth which is created by business enterprise. It's different from profitability. Because in profit, you take so many things into consideration, depreciation. You take so many items into consideration which really does not create the wealth for the enterprise. So this statement as a part of financial reporting is to be made separately and reported to the shareholders. That in addition to the profit what business is earning, how much wealth is also increasing year by year for the enterprise. Profit is a short-term concept and wealth is a long-term concept. So profit will be presently earned and useful in sustaining the business in the current year. But whatever wealth is created in the business will be useful to sustain the business over a long period of time. So, as a part of reporting to the shareholders, in addition to final accounts, that is profit and loss statement and balance sheet, generally companies also report value added statement. So, in very simple language, what is value added? What do you mean by value added? Wealth created by the business enterprise. Okay, once again, what do you mean by value added? Wealth created by the business enterprise. Okay, and statement means we'll be making a statement how the wealth is created by the enterprise during the year and how is it is used. First we will show how it is created and then we will show where is this wealth used in the current year. Is everyone of clear with this? So what all are the sources of wealth creation, value added? Very first is sale of goods and services. Whatever money you receive by sale of goods and services will result into the value added for the business, wealth for the business. But minus purchase of goods and services and direct expenses. So very first in wealth creation we take sale of goods and services and direct income. Means if it is not sale of goods, then whichever is your business, direct income will be taken into consideration. Some businesses are not involved in providing goods. They have direct income, royalty, etc. in the business, so that will be included. So main income of business, that is sale of goods and services, and direct income minus bought out cost of goods and services. Is everyone clear with it? Plus investment income. Further wealth is created in the business. You have invested money anywhere and interest is received on that, dividend is received on that. That results in wealth creation. Okay, so first time discussing the sources of wealth creation. What is the first source of wealth creation? Everything I'll be asking you back. Sale of goods and services and direct income minus bought out cost of goods and services. Second source, investment income. Third source, dividend income. Whatever interest is earned, that is investment income. Whatever dividend is earned, that is dividend income. Okay. Fourth source will be income earned from extraordinary activities, like sale of building at profit. These are not the normal activities of the business. Normal is buying and selling of goods. So wealth is created from such extraordinary activities also. So four main sources of income. First, sale of goods and services. From that we will minus bought out cost of goods and services. Sale of goods and services and direct income minus bought out cost of goods and services. Second source, investment income. Third source, dividend income. And fourth source, extraordinary income. This is gross value added. Now, next part of the statement we show where is this used? Where is this wealth used in the business? We use the wealth in paying to employees, in paying to money lenders, in paying to government and in paying to shareholders. 4 places, 4 sources, 4 uses. 4 places we use the wealth. First is in paying to employees. Second is in paying to government. Third is paying to money lenders, debenture holders, etc., from whom we have borrowed the money. And fourth is in, lastly, whatever remains is paid to shareholders. Employees, we pay salaries and wages. Government, we pay tax. Money lenders, we pay interest. And shareholders, we pay dividend and whatever is the retained profit, including depreciation, because depreciation does not result in money going out from the business. So whatever is the retained profit, including depreciation, that is again for the shareholders available in future. So what all we pay to shareholders? 3 things: dividend, retained profits, including depreciation. So these are the uses of wealth. Which are the 4 uses of wealth? First, employees we pay salaries and wages. Second, government we pay taxes. Third, money lenders we pay interest. Financiers we pay interest. Fourth, shareholders we pay dividend, retained profits and depreciation. Any confusions with that? All are clear with this? So first write down a small introduction. Value added means the wealth created by the enterprise. Through the use of various resources. Give this heading in your notebooks. Yes, silence now. So as I discussed with you, put your pens down. Which are the 4 sources of wealth creation? Sale of goods and services. No one should be writing it, understand it first. Sale of goods and services and direct income minus bought out cost of goods and services, purchases of goods and services and direct expenses. Okay. Further we include dividend income, further we include investment income, and further we include extraordinary income. This is gross value added. Okay. This is the source of wealth, and we use it in paying wages and salaries to employees, then tax to the government, then interest to the financiers. This I stands for investment income. Dividend to the shareholders. This D stands for dividend, and DI stands for dividend income. Investment in shares, what we make dividend income, and here the dividend is to be paid to our shareholders. Okay, plus retained profit plus depreciation. Okay, now these 3 payments go to shareholders. So 4 sources and 4 uses. Is everyone clear with it? This results in gross value added, and these are the applications of gross value added, uses of gross value added. Any doubts up till here? And this portion, sales minus bought out cost of goods and services, results in value added by trading and manufacturing activities. It results in value added by trading and manufacturing activities. Any confusions up till here? So you don't have to remember any format for this statement. You remember this equation, and this equation will be writing in the format. So how you remember the things is, gross value include S minus B plus DI plus II plus, okay, S minus B will give us value added by trading and manufacturing activities, and then plus DI plus II plus EI will result in gross value added, total wealth created. Then we will show in the statement application of gross value added, uses of the wealth. For that you remember W plus T plus I, and then 3 payments to shareholders, D plus R plus depreciation. Did everyone understand this? W stands for wages and salaries, T stands for tax, I stands for interest, D stands for dividend, R stands for retained profits and depreciation. Any confusion with that? Show this gross value added this way. All of you have written this? Now we are in the silence. Net value added. Now understand the things again. Net value added, you'll remember, is equal to gross value added minus depreciation. net value added is equal to gross value added minus depreciation, means decrease in the value of assets. So wealth will also accordingly decrease by that much proportion. That is net value added. So if you are asked to make in the question gross value added statement, then two parts of the statement. First part you will show S minus B plus DI plus II plus EI. And if you are asked to make net value added statement, then you will show S minus B plus DI plus II plus EI minus depreciation. What is net value added? Gross value added. Up till here we have gross value added minus depreciation. In short, this depreciation which comes on the right side, if you bring on the left side, what will happen? This gives us net value added. And right side, now we will not write depreciation. So what will be the application of net value added? Wages and salaries plus tax plus interest plus dividends plus retained profit. This is made to shareholders. This will become uses or application of net value added. Did everyone of you understand this? Okay. So if in the question you are asked to make gross value added statement, then depreciation will be included in application of GVA. If in the question you are asked to make net value added statement, then depreciation will be subtracted from gross value added and it will not be included in. Any confusions in this? Yes, write down fast everyone. All the abbreviations, write it down. So I'll be asking you this for the next two lectures every day. This two, remember this properly and come. S minus B plus DI plus II plus EN is equal to W plus T plus I plus D plus R plus depreciation. And in the next statement, depreciation will come on the. Is everyone clear with this? Yes. I is investment income and simply I is interest paid to financials. Okay, left side we have II, that is investment income. Right side we have I, that is interest paid to financials. Raise your hand who is still writing it. All are completed? Look at page number 72. All of you look at page number 72. Format of value added statement. Be it gross value added of a manufacturing company. Sales, add royalties and other direct income. On the left side, both marked as SS. As we discussed in sales, we will include sale of goods as well as all the other direct incomes like royalties. Any confusion in this? On the left side of sales, marked as S. Left side before the table. Left. And royalties and direct income also S. It both will come in S. Less material and services used, unlike including excise duty, marked as B on the left side. So S minus B. And see in between I have written this. What will you get S minus B? Value added by trading or manufacturing activities. Any confusion in this? Then add investment income marked as II. Add extraordinary income marked as EI. Less means if it is loss, like loss on sale of furniture, then we would minus it. Okay. They have not written dividend income separately because it is assumed it would come in investment income. So it will get added in that. Okay. So the investment income you can mark II and EI and then EI. So what we get is gross value added. So you need not remember the format of the statement, you remember this equation. S minus B plus DI plus II plus EI. Okay, and then applied as follows. So right side of the equation is all the application. Where do you apply or use this value added? To employees as salaries and wages marked as W. To government as taxes and duties marked as T. To financiers as interest on borrowings marked as I. To shareholders as dividend marked as D. And retained profit will always get including depreciation. So retained profit and depreciation will be combined. Therefore, I have not shown depreciation separately in abbreviations. And R itself will stand for retained profit, which will be including depreciation. Okay, but I have written it here separately so that you understand net value added. That only depreciation is taken on the left side in net value added. Is everyone clear with this? Now, important points. Deferred tax could be shown retained earnings or as a part to pay to government. It is specified in the exams as a note. If deferred tax comes, should you include it in retained earning means R, or should you include it in the amount of T, that is taxes paid to the government? Because basically deferred tax means it will be paid in the next year. deferred for the next year. So right now you can include it in retained earnings also, and you're going to pay it in the further years. Or alternatively, you can also include it in paying to government. But it will be specified in the exams in the notes. Bank overdraft market important. Where should we include interest on bank overdraft? Where should we include interest on bank overdraft? EI, extraordinary income, interest on bank overdraft. Where should we include it? Interest paid to financiers, that is what you go to. Bank overdraft is normally borrowed for short-term activities, buying of goods and services, etc. You want to purchase raw material. It's for a short-term period, temporary source of finance. So where do you use this bank overdraft? In purchasing goods on credit, in paying your electricity bills, salaries and wages if you are short of money. In short, it is considered as bought out cost of goods and services. Because usage of bank overdraft is made in purchase of raw material, paying the salaries and wages, electricity, etc. to the employees. So, bank overdraft is important. See that bank overdraft being a temporary source of finance should be considered as provision for banking service rather than capital. Rather than capital means you will not consider it as capital and interest. You will include as provision for banking services means you will include it in bought out cost of goods and services. So write down as a note. Interest on bank overdraft, as a note write down, interest on bank overdraft, comma, if temporary source of finance, comma, should be included in bought out cost of goods and services, in bracket B, instead of interest to financiers, in bracket I. Okay, so when we solve the questions, if interest on bank overdraft is there, we will include it in P instead of I, in value added statement. Did you understand this? Next, excise duty. We already have marked it important earlier also. Where did we include excise duty? In the statement above, where is excise duty included? Bought out cost of goods and services. So, excise duty has been shown as a part of bought-in cost and deducted while calculating value added. Some academics argue that such excise duty should be shown as an application of value added, but there is only some academics which argue. So we will be including excise duty as per the above statement in bought out cost of goods and services. Okay. Other miscellaneous charges can be taken either as bought-in service item or application of value added. It will be specified in the question what is to be. Next, they have explained you reconciliation of gross value added with profit before tax. Reconciliation means what? Why profit before tax is different from gross value added. A statement is made for the reasons. Now, when we make P&L statement, then profit before tax is obtained after subtracting wages. Yes or no? Tax comes after profit before tax. But what comes before profit before tax in the P&L statement? Wages, interest, depreciation. Even dividend comes in statement of retained earnings after profit before tax. Even retained reserves comes in statement of retained earnings after profit before tax, and tax also comes after profit before tax. Means in profit before tax, which three items are subtracted which are not subtracted in gross value added? Wages, interest, depreciation. Add them back. If you add them back from profit before tax, then what your answer will match with gross value added. So which are the three main reasons responsible for difference in profit before tax and gross value added? Wages, interest, and if you are asked reconciliation between net value added and profit before tax, then depreciation will not be a reason. Because in net value added also depreciation is already deducted. So between net value added and profit before tax, which will be the two reasons of differences? Simply wages and interest. See that? Profit before tax. In that, what do you add back? Expenses which are deducted while calculating PBT. Wages, interest and depreciation. But they are not deducted in GVA calculation. So which are those expenses? Salaries and wages, taxes and duties, but excluding income tax. Excluding income tax means if there is rent, rates and taxes, then that we deduct before PBT. Municipal tax, we deduct before PBT. Professional tax, we deduct before PBT. So those will also get added because They are included in PBT, but they are not included in, and interest on borrowings and depreciation. Did everyone of you understand this? What you'll get is gross value added. Concept of profit and loss account versus value added. So that is a theory part, we can read it later on. Question 1, page 73. We'll take it today. It's a small one only, see that. Page number 73, question 1. Prepare value added statement for the year ended on 31/3/08. And then this value added statement and underline also reconciliation of total value added with profit before taxation. So 3 reasons we have to add back and find the reasons of differences. From profit and loss account of futures limited for the year ended on 31/3/2008. Always first read the additional information and then do the marking. So look at the additional information first. Sales represent net sales after adjusting discount, returns and sales tax. Bank overdraft is temporary, therefore interest on bank overdraft we will include in B, bought out cost of goods and services. An operating cost includes 82,50,000 as wages and salaries and other benefits to employees. Now be attentive. How much is operating cost given in the above statement? All of you can see 21250. Any confusion in that? At the top, can you see rupees in thousands are given? So if third adjustment 82,50,000, you cancel thousands, 3 zeros, then it will be 8250. Can I say out of 21250, 8250 is wages, salaries and other benefits means W. What will remain? 21250 minus 8250, 13,000. This we can include in bought out cost of goods and services. Operating cost means cost of main operating activities of business. So out of 21,250, 8250 is wages and salaries. Remaining 13,000 we will include in bought out cost of goods and services. Make this classification in the statement above. Out of 21250, we will include 8250 in W and remaining 13,000 we will include in. Any confusion with this? All are clear with this? Not clear with this? Operating cost, operating expenses we studied in financial management also. Administration expenses, selling expenses, financial expenses are not included, depreciation, etc. So here operating cost is 21250, but out of that, how much is salaries and wages paid to the employee? 8250 means remaining expense incurred is for what purpose? It is incurred for buying of goods and services. So remaining 13,000 will be included in. Is everyone clear with this? Now look at the remaining statement above. Income, sales market as S. Even other income which is direct income in nature we will include in S itself. Market as S. Any doubt of telling? Expenditure, operating cost we already discussed that 8250 will include in W and 13,000 we will include in B. Excise duty where should we include? B. Bought out cost of goods and services, market as B. And where should we include interest on bank overdraft? B. Because it's written it is temporary in adjustment to, so market as B. Where should we include interest on 9% debentures? I. Interest to financial, so that will come in application, market as I. We get profit before depreciation, that is not to be considered. Then depreciation, market as depreciation. It will come with retained profit, so you can mark it as R. Depreciation will get added with retained profits. Then profit before tax is not to be taken into consideration. Where will we include this provision for tax? The tax paid to the government. Then we get profit after tax not to be considered. Where will we include proposed dividend? D, market as D. And retained profit also R. But we will write retained profit including depreciation. So when we write retained profit, we will write 500 plus 400. Is everyone clear with that? So let us make the gross value added. Gross value added statement for the year ending 31/3/08. So you remember the equation first is S minus B. So first S marked items will be considered. Has everyone made the format? Raise your hand who is still making it. Yes, be attentive. S minus B. So first S means we will include sales. That is 24,400 plus. It will also include direct income. So S marked item is considered first. That is 508. We get 24908. S is this two. Then S minus B. So from that we have to subtract bought out cost of goods and services. B marked items will be considered. That includes operating cost. What amount? 21250 minus 8250, only 13,000 is included in B. Is everyone clear with this? Then excise duty 1110. Then interest on bank overdraft is also included in B, 75. Anything else marked as B? Anything else marked as B? No. So 14,185. This is S minus B. We get 10723, that is value added by trading and manufacturing activities. Did everyone understand this? So S minus B is done, that is value added by trading and manufacturing activities. For the left side of the equation, S minus B plus DI. Is there any dividend income given in the question? Anything marked as DI? Yes or no? No. Plus II. Anything marked as investment income? No. Plus EI. Anything marked as extraordinary income? No. So this itself is gross value added. Value added by manufacturing and trading activities itself is gross value added. Reason, there is no dividend income, no investment income and no extraordinary income. Is everyone clear with this? Now we have to show application of gross value added. So write applied as follows. Now W plus T plus I plus D plus R including depreciation. So W means you will say applied as follows to employees as wages and salaries. Now see in the question, what is marked as W? 8250. Any confusion with this? Then further W plus T. So to government, applied to government as taxes. How much is marked as T? 320. Then W plus T plus I. How much is marked as I? 1200. To financiers as interest on debentures. That is 1200. W plus T plus I plus D dividend. How much is proposed dividend? 48. To shareholders as dividend 48. And lastly, retained profit including depreciation. To retained profit including depreciation, in bracket retained profit is 500 and depreciation is also marked as R, that is 405. So 905. Verify, does the total come to 10723 or not? So this is application of gross value added. Is everyone clear with it? Very scoring and simple for 15 marks. You just have to remember this statement S minus B, this equation, plus DI plus II plus EI and right side W plus T plus I plus D plus R plus. Now what else is asked in the question is reconciliation. You know what is gross value added coming to? 10723. And what is profit before tax coming to? In the question. 868. So we have to make a reconciliation statement, reasons explaining why profit before tax 868 is different than gross value added. Because in gross value added, we have not subtracted wages, we have not subtracted interest, and we have not subtracted depreciation. And in profit before tax, these three things are subtracted. So in profit before tax, if you add back these three things, your answer will match with gross value added. Okay, so reconciliation statement. Now we will start with profit before tax, that is 868, and we will add the items deducted in PBT but not deducted in GVA. Did you understand this? Items which are deducted in calculating profit before tax but which are not deducted in calculating gross value added. Three items are there. Wages and salaries. They are deducted in PBT 8250 but they are not deducted in calculating gross value added. Taxes are not deducted before both. Then interest on debentures is deducted in PBT 1200 but it is not deducted before GB. And depreciation of 405 is deducted in calculating PBT but not deducted in GB. So 8 plus 1 9, 8 5 5. Add it back. Do you get 10723? This is gross value added. So you start with PBT and your answer comes to gross value added. Is everyone clear with this? Anyone having any doubt in it? So Question number 4A, page 75 is your homework. Clear it? Question 4A on page 75 is your homework. Prepare a value-added statement for the year ended on 31/3/2013 and underline value-added statement and underline reconciliation of total value added with profit before taxation from the profit and loss account of options limited for the year ended 31/3/2013. Additional information: sales represent net sales after adjusting discount, returns and sales tax. Bank overdraft is temporary, so interest on bank overdraft will be included in B. Operating cost includes 92,50,000 as wages and salaries. If you remove thousands, then 9250. Do the marking. Operating cost is how much in the above statement? 53125 divided in two parts. That is W9250 and B. What is remaining? 53125 minus 9250. 43875. That is B. Is everyone clear with it? In W9250 and in B 43875. Now remaining items. What will be marked? Sales. S. Other income. S. Operating cost, we have done the markings. Excise duty. B. Interest on bank overdraft. B. Interest on 9% debentures. I. Depreciation. R. It will be included as retained profits. Provision for tax. T. Proposed dividend. D. And retained profit. So this question will be your homework. Okay. Remaining will take up tomorrow. Take out PFI.